Today we're doing a review of the Rogue Monster Rhino Belt Squat. A lot of words, but the company that makes it is Rogue. It's monster because it's this 3x3 1-inch holes. It's accessible with any of the monster attachments from Rogue. And Rhino because it was built and designed by Stan Efferding, or at least he was involved in the branding of this product. What I really want to talk to you about, the main things when you're considering any piece of in-home gym equipment. We're gonna talk about price, we're gonna talk about floor space, and then I'm just gonna give you my general perspective about this machine and is it helping me accomplish what I'd hoped to with it. Talking about price first and foremost, and by the way, I'm gonna compare this to some of the other belt squats that I've used. I have a gym membership to like 3 other studios, Lifetime, this gym in Mamaroneck, New York, which is a different location, and then I also have a New York Sports Club membership. So I've got to use 3 different belt squats besides this one, primarily hammer strengths and also arsenals. So I'll talk about like pluses and minuses of each of those and compare it to some commercial grade belt squats. First thing, spent a little under $2,700 on this. Now that is with shipping, that's with taxes, that is all in $2,700 to have this piece of equipment. It's not cheap, but it is incredibly effective. And part of the reason I said that I'm gonna do this is because one, we have a baby on the way. We've been going through IVF. And I know that on like a random Saturday, a random Sunday, my girlfriend might be like, hey, you can't head out right now. And so I wanna maintain my training at the intensity I am, so that for me, I can justify the cost. The other reasoning is if I'm gonna train at home, if I'm limited to just what I can hold in dumbbells, or I'm limited to what I can put on my back with a barbell, there are limiting factors in those movements. So for example, Bulgarian split squat, grip could become a factor. Even with straps, like your shoulders from shrugging that amount of weight can become tired. So that could be limiting factors as opposed to my quads. When you have a barbell on your back, you have to be able to stay upright with the bar. It's a lot of axial fatigue, or it's a lot of fatigue on your spine. And so I wanted something that would really allow me to fully push my quads, pre-exhaust that muscle before I go and do like Bulgarian split squats or something like a traditional front squat, something else that I could do before doing those patterns. So I wanted something that would allow me to fully fatigue my quads before I move to something like a Bulgarian split squat or something like a traditional barbell squat. So $2,700 all in. When we compare that to what else I've seen in the industry, the hammer strength belt squat, which I really love, it's $6,200 before taxes, before shipping. So it's more than twice the cost of this unit. And again, that's all in for this unit. That's not including shipping and taxes with that. The Arsenal belt squat, they make incredible pieces of equipment. Arsenal makes amazing equipment, but $7,500. And that's before shipping, that's before taxes. So this is definitely at least half the cost, maybe even 1/3 of the cost, all in compared to those units. Floor print for this, it's about 80 inches tall. Let me give you the exact numbers. It is 78 inches tall. So upright, I think it's actually too tall, but I'll get to why that matters later. But I think this unit could actually be a little short. It doesn't need to be that tall, but it is. It's 78 inches. When you're looking at total length, it's 60 inches long, and then it's 53 inches long this way. Oh, pardon me, 50 inches long this way. So 78 by 60 by 49. Why that matters is because for me, budget is bigger than I actually have space to work with. I have a 20 by 20 space. I still want to be able to fit a car into my garage while having my gym in here. So whenever you're looking at in-home gym equipment, the space matters. I think this is relatively compact. A leg press would be way longer out. I think what you get with this, because I'll be able to use this for the rest of my life because it's a belt squat, there's not, again, a lot of axial fatigue, so it's very easy on your back, it's very easy on your hips. My girlfriend loves using this piece of equipment. If I can do RDLs and I can do a really efficient glute and quad squat off this unit, that's worth it to me, and especially something that I can use as I age. I can use this machine when I'm 50. And also too, the other thing that I really liked about it, again, is because it's monster, I can put attachments onto this thing, which you see I did. I actually put a Rogue weight horn right on here, and I put my plates right on here. So I love that I can put attachments onto this. But that's the price, that's the size. Assembly was super easy. To be honest with you, I didn't even look at the instructions from Rogue. I simply watched a YouTube video that's out there that kind of walks you through. So then I looked at the pictures, I put everything on in front of me. It took me 2 hours. I did it by myself. Assembly's super simple on this piece of equipment. So that's kind of the logistics of this. Some of the issues that I have with it, and I'm gonna start with the issue, even though I really do love this belt squat and I'm very happy that I got it, is it's designed for a very tall person. So this is my belt, pop this on, attach it wherever, third pin up, okay. These are actually the lever arms that they use that you can load and unload this from. So you pull these back as you use it, squat down. I am able to get full range of motion on here. But if you look, as I stand up, look at how much room I have here. It's a ton of room. I mean, think about how long would my legs have to be for this to go all the way up. The reason I have an issue with that is it's tough to do other patterns on it because of it. So for example, it's tough to do something like an RDL on this machine. I had to get additional stuff in able to do an RDL pattern with it. Whereas if they simply made this thing a little bit shorter, like they did with the Arsenal piece of equipment, I would be able to do both RDLs and squats very easy on it. It's not that hard to fix, but I am complaining and I don't quite understand, like, who in the world, who in the world's waist starts up here, right? Like, that guy this waist would essentially start where my head is. It's too tall. So it's a minor complaint, but it does matter because you're gonna end up having to buy some additional stuff to accomplish everything I wanted to, and probably you will want to with this unit. So you could buy horse mat stalls. Those are very cheap. Probably all in to prop this up like another additional 10 inches. You might be all in like $100 to do that. Very simple to do. You could go on Rogue's website, on the contrary, and buy their DC blocks and spend like $800. Not worth it. What I did was I went on Bells of Steel and I bought these blocks. They're called DC blocks. And you just put it on both sides. And I bought 10 of these blocks in total, so I can put 5 on both sides. And what that allows me to do is allows me to have extra room when I'm squatting. Now, I can really get down very, very deep because of that. And if I stack up enough of these, what I can do, which is the other movement I wanted to be able to do with it, is I can go ahead and do RDLs. So I need more blocks than this, but I can pull this thing out and then I can proceed to do hinge patterns off of this, which is another thing highlights another thing that I dislike. I think these lever arms are really cool. I love how they took an existing product and implemented it into their design. However, if I pull this out, I have to hold on to this to allow the trolley to move. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So what I end up having to do is I end up having to pull this out and put a resistance band around it to attach it to this so that I can RDL without having to hold on to the handles. In general, if you're belt squatting, you're gonna hold on to the handles, but some of the other exercises that you may want to do with this, you're not gonna be holding on to the handle the entire time you do it. So for example, if you try to do some row, maybe it would make sense to hold on to, but maybe you wouldn't want to. So I like it. I just wish there was a way to hold the handles here the entire time, right? To keep the handles here without me having to hold on to it. And if I proceed to squat like this, you think, oh, maybe it'll hold on to. A lot of times this will end up falling forward and it will crush me mid-rep, right? It'll prevent me from doing what I want to do. Those are my 2 complaints about the design, but otherwise, I'm only gonna say positive things about this unit. Super smooth. I love that I can put 2 plates on this frickin' thing and it's incredibly difficult. If I was using the hammer strength, I have to load like 4 plates on that thing to get like 15 reps when I'm squatting. I have to put like 6 plates on it when I'm doing RDLs. For an in-home gym piece of equipment, I think it's essential that heavy weight, that you don't need a lot of weight for it to feel heavy. But at the same time, it's not so extreme that my girlfriend can't use it. She puts 25s on both sides and she can still use the machine. Most new trainees, they may not need much weight. They might be able to actually just use the trolley itself, or they might put 10s on both sides, but probably a beginner could still use this. And definitely if you're advanced or intermediate to advanced, you'll really appreciate that you don't have to load a ton of weight onto this machine for it to be effective. For my RDLs, I bought one of these cheese blocks. You could also buy the mag grips or one of the rip-offs of the mag grips. Very effective for that. Another plus, I guess, also too, that I'll say to it is this belt. It's very, very comfortable. I was kind of nervous because I was like, is my girlfriend gonna complain when she puts the belt on if it rubs wrong? I know that sounds like a funny thing, but I know tons of people who actually don't like doing belt squats because they feel like they're uncomfortable and it rubs against them while they do that. This is so comfortable. It's very, very cushioned. It's very, very easy to use. So overall, am I happy about this? Yeah, I'm so happy about this. I think I'll be able to use this for years to come. I love it. I'm probably at some point, I might even take off this cross member and put a different type of cross member that will allow me to attach another one of these beams, and maybe I'll put attachments on it. There's a couple pieces of equipment I might have in mind, maybe like some sort of leg curl, leg extension piece on there. I love that it allows me to add on to it if I really want to, and I love the piece of equipment overall. I think it's a tremendous value for what it costs. I do think, having said all that, the best belt squat out there is Arsenal, but just the cost, it just isn't worth it to me. But again, I do think for the price, this makes complete sense. And even price aside, this is a really good fucking belt squat. So that's my thoughts on the Rogue Monster Rhino belt squat. A lot to say, but also a piece that offers a lot of value.